Hello, Esther. Morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Nice to see ya. How are you doing?
Shoot.
Shoot! E flat major. What scale? Mhm.
Okay. No, we're fine. I'm fine, Alex.
Glad to hear it. We're going to start with some scales. Are you ready?
No, no,
Terrific. Page 14. Page 14. Grade 3. E. Oh, I don't mean grade. Hold on. I don't mean that. I want A flat major is what I want. Who's got A flat? We can start with scales. So get your Trinity book out. Grade 5. A flat. A flat. Page
Hey, oh,
25.
by the way, Alex, listen to me. I didn't mean to sound sort of. Oh heavens! Wait a minute. There. I didn't mean to say okay, but I had just been working on 329 pages.
Oh, yeah. How's it? And?
Well, the editor took the majority of the pages with her, but I had 70 pages left
Hmm.
last week. It's been the agony and the ecstasy. It hasn't been fun to do
Yeah.
that many pages in 2 weeks.
No.
And she's going to look at it. She's going to critique it, she said. And I'm going, I just did, lady. But
Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of the process, Esther. Part of it. You
uh,
know, you know how it's a labor of love, right? A labor of love is still laborious.
that was a laborious. Well, how do you know about publications, though, Alex?
I don't know about publications. I know about performance, which is what this is, and being critiqued as artists and creatives is just part of the process.
That's true.
Yeah, and what you are doing for your is the editor, the publisher. The publisher, it's just performance. Yeah, it's a different type of it, but it's still performance. There's this great line in showbiz which I wish was more widely known, which is take the note. Have you heard that before?
Take the notes.
Take the
No.
note. Yeah. So take the note is like if you're doing a big stage production and you've got 100 people involved, right? It's like Phantom of the Opera or something. Enormous cast, massive orchestra. You got all the backstage crew. You got sound. You got lighting. You've got set design. You've got what else? Costumes. Right? There's so many moving parts. There's
Yeah.
so many moving parts. If the director turns to someone and goes, "Hey, I need you to do this instead. This bit's not quite working. Do this." And if every single time that feedback is given, someone goes, "Oh, but I'm tired," and then, "Oh, but," and then she was a dickhead, and did you see that episode last night on TV? I'm just all out of whack. You'd never get anything done, right? So the take the note just means it doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter if you think it's unfair. In the moment when you're in rehearsal,
Thanks to them.
you just gotta take the note. Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
it.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
it.
I read somewhere that no one cares how you feel, just produce.
Yeah, the audience. Yeah, yeah, that's it. It's
No,
kind of
no, no,
irrelevant.
no. That's no. I mean, any of it. Well, it might be the teacher or the audience. Shut up and do it. That's all.
Yeah, I care how you feel. I want to make sure that my students, I'm providing them with lots of evidence of safety, so that they feel
Of
confident in their
course.
performance. But
Oh,
I think the sentiment is true. Like if you're performing, how you feel is irrelevant. You have to get
right.
on
You
with
had
it
to
and do
just
a good
produce it,
job.
get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's true. I think it's true too. You know, Alex, I want to tell you something else that I'm really excited about.
yeah.
The end of this month, on the 25th of this month, we'll make it 2 years.
That we've been having lessons together. Has it really? Wow. Goodness gracious. That is exciting. Have you have you watched back one of your original lessons yet?
I have gone back, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't recently. No, I have not because I've been up to Oh,
You've
I
been
set
busy.
that stuff
You've been
off
a
on
busy girl.
Monday.
I get it. I get it. So let's focus, right? So page
Dear
25,
Chris.
Esther.
Yeah,
Page
yeah.
25 of the
Yes,
Trinity
I'm
book.
here.
Good.
Okay, shut up and play. All right, okay, got it.
You do the whole scale, that pattern. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
What are
Like
you
that.
trying to? What are you trying to prove doing that?
We're not trying to prove anything, Esther. Let's just do it. Why would I be trying to prove anything?
I don't. Well, because you do. you. Never mind. Never mind.
Bom,
Are,
bom, bom.
are you in a motel room?
I am, yeah. It's not the flashiest one, but it will do. It'll keep. There's
Over
no
in, what is
mold.
this in?
It's clean. Can't
It's
complain too much.
Wellington
And
or
Wellington, yes,
are
ma'am.
you are you performing?
Yeah, yeah, I'm up with the orchestra. Got a concert tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
If I can get the right note, I'll be happy, Alex.
nice, low, isn't it? Below a middle C. Well, you played like up in the high register. You were a whole octave higher, so don't give me that look. The right note would be ideal, but you were up around there. That note you just played.
Come on. And I've been too impatient with myself too this week, so it's not been good.
Can you take the mouthpiece out and show me this, please? Back of the mouthpiece, watch. Move air. 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, so you ran out of air. You ran out of air on the third one, and the first note. I need tongue. Ta 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 is what
I
we're doing.
did.
You did not. That's better. That's better.
I did so, Alex.
Not on all of them. No. The first one for each of them, at the very least, was an ear attack. You went hoo to. All three with tongue. All three with tongue. Once more.
It didn't sound that way to me over here, but that's okay. It's
okay.
good to see you. I have to get the smile off my face. Sorry.
Good. No, it's all right. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. Can you do it again? Great. Love that. Making sure it's nice and connected. Nice and connected right the way through. No gaps. Once more. Beautiful, Esther. Beautiful. I'm still hearing a millisecond of silence in between each one. I'm hearing, and I'll highlight it for you. Yours is stopping just a wee bit. Mine doesn't. Listen. Do you hear the difference? It's very subtle.
There is a slight, very subtle stop.
Yeah. No, I disagree. I disagree. So if I'm blowing, when I'm doing my articulation, sorry, what am I trying to say? Your air minus the articulation is doing this. Behave yourself, young woman. Behave yourself. If I do what you're doing, it sounds like this. I won't do any tongue. This is just your air. You're going, and the air is stopping. My air, when I'm not articulating, sounds like this. So yes, my tongue disrupts the air. Right, it cuts through it, but the air doesn't stop moving, whereas yours does. I'm always blowing, even though I'm tonguing. And if you were to vocalize it, mine would sound like da 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 da. My vocal cords are always moving, whereas yours sounds like da 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 da. That sound underneath stops. Yeah, it's not a criticism, my friend. Just an observation. Right. So, can you just go and just blow straight air, no tongue? Great. Great. Now that shouldn't change just because we've included the tongue. Try that. Beautiful. Perfect. Perfect. Exactly that. Exactly that, Esther. Well done, you. It's a challenging thing to come to terms with. A lot of people I work with struggle with this as well. Yeah, but you can do it. Yeah, and it was pretty easy once you brought your attention to it. Is that correct?
No, I was aware of what you were trying to tell me.
Yeah,
I just didn't agree with you. That was it.
that's okay. Which bit didn't you agree with?
That's okay. Let's move on,
Okay,
Alex.
it's all right. Um,
Let's move on. Let's just forget it. Let's move on.
so just in your practice and when you're doing articulation, always come back to the mouthpiece. Yeah, just blowing air and moving air and just asking yourself, am I actually using continuous air or am I manipulating it? Yeah? We want it to be continuous. Obviously, um, the less disruption we have to our air, the better, in my opinion. Cool. Now can we try that on the horn? Nice full sound and keep that air moving the entire time. A flat.
Now let me put my enthusiasm, cap my enthusiasm, Alex, and maybe we can get it through.
Sure.
Okay?
Esther, what's up, mate? Are you okay?
I realize more and more that I'm enthusiastic about working with you, but I have to cap it.
I don't know that I agree with that. Enthusiasm is a wonderful thing.
If in order to play well, Alex, or learn to do it, yes, I have to.
Okay.
I don't have a choice.
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know. Let's do this.
Okay. Ooh.
But just because I just feel I should.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because I don't feel I'm in control that much. That's just me.
Okay. Just, I mean, maybe, maybe that's the case. Just, I would caution, don't overcorrect and go too far in the other direction. You're not going to have a productive lesson if we're not enjoying ourselves, you know?
Oh, I'm enjoying myself, but I don't want to. If I get laughing all the time about it, I'm not gonna do well. Period.
Maybe.
That's just my that's just my that's what I've noticed.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, Esther, that you are a very gregarious, bubbly,
Yes, I
humorous,
know, and it
and
has to
lovely,
stop to some
and no, no,
degree.
no, 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 individual, and that
Oh, thank you.
I think a lot of people waste a lot of energy trying to fight their natural instincts and to go against their nature. Um, and it could have the potential to be a hindrance, right? But let's just see it as a tool. Your enthusiasm and your excitement could be of real benefit if we learn to apply it in a productive way. So rather than trying to discard it and to go against who you are, which I think is a very challenging thing to do, let's just see how we can harness it to our advantage instead.
Now what I mean by capping it is to harness it.
Great.
Is to enjoy it, to show enthusiasm when I should, but
Mm.
then when I'm about to play a piece, hey, get the smile off your face,
Yeah, that's having the ability to shook and to focus and
and
to
yeah, the
get in the zone.
focus.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, Alex.
Okay.
Really,
Okay, that's all right. Then that I
I
can
have
agree
to
with.
do that.
Yeah.
All
Cool.
right, because I mean, even when I practice, I just
Mm. All right. How big an A flat can you give me? How full a sound can you produce? Oh,
trying to find a darn note.
yeah. But well, find any note full. Great. Great. Good. Go for the lower one. Oh. Yes.
No, no, not doing what you want to do. Okay.
Nice. Good. Okay. So now that we've found an A flat and we're not cautious about it, we're just putting air into the instrument. Yeah. So here's the thing. You were going, no, not this. Here's the thing is what I'm describing. You were poking at it, little nudges of air, and of course it wasn't working, right? And every time it didn't work, you shied away with your air. All right. So instead, we just establish a sound, any sound, full with quality, and then okay, we're a little bit high, and we can adjust. Yeah, but always start from a place of big and quality and full sound so that we can properly judge where we're at.
Okay.
Okay? Don't be
Okay.
cautious. There's no caution on the French horn is not a trait that we're after. Okay?
No,
Discard
it's
that
not.
completely. So nice full sound. I've got to practice mute in, which is why I sound soft. And keep going. Yes, good, good. So don't let the little turbulence in your sound disrupt you from just keeping blowing.
You want me to do it again?
Yeah, and even if it's a little bit wobbly, practice recovering. Yes, Esther. Good. Now on that
Yeah.
one note. Nice full sound.
Oh, I see you're using your mute so you don't disturb anybody else. Good point. Okay, yeah.
Yes, Esther. Very good. Very good. It's a beautiful sound that you. Beg your pardon. It's a beautiful sound that you're making. Yeah,
Thank you.
we like that.
Thank you.
Same thing on a B flat. D flat. D flat. Isn't that
Oh,
false
G
note?
flat. Oh, sorry. When I played it, I thought, no, that was the wrong.
Good.
That's why
Once
I
more.
stopped and looked at it. Better. It sort of goes with the
Back to an A flat.
Wait a minute. We've got bubbles in here.
It's all right.
This horn, I don't know. This thing has a habit of doing that.
All horns have a habit of doing that, Esther.
Yeah, you really
Yeah.
more so. I mean, does your brass instrument do it less than the silver nickel?
No.
Somebody told me that the silver nickel did it more than the brass. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. Okay.
I have no idea. I couldn't ascertain one way or the other. I would be
All right.
surprised if that was the case. It's just condensation. It's condensation. You're breathing hot air into a cold tube and it condenses and turns to water. Right.
Right.
That's the
Okay,
process.
where are we?
A flat, the low one, nice full sound. Great, good. Yeah. Discard caution, Esther. Discard caution. It is not your friend on this instrument.
I beg your pardon.
Discard, get rid of
Yeah.
caution. It is not your friend on this instrument. The first 5 or 6 minutes or whatever, we spent trying to get you just to produce a sound, right? And it was like hesitant and cautious and trepidatious. Those are not how we want to engage with the instrument. Because now you're playing and it's fine. It's not an issue at all, right? Because you're going for it boldly.
Well, I've been blasting away when you told me to do that A flat and then going up. I've been just blasting away like mad
Yeah, good.
during
Good. So
practice.
that is fantastic, right?
I know it doesn't sound like that earlier.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the next step. Here's the next step. After you've gone through that progress, is separating boldness and that sort of confident attitude, separating that from volume. Those are separate contacts. You can still have a beautifully confident attitude on the French horn at a soft dynamic.
True.
That's what we
I
need
agree.
to work on as well. Yeah, because at the
Okay,
moment
sure.
you can play loud and confident or otherwise. Good. So the rhythm from Girl with the Flaxen Hair. Ba-ya-da-dee-ya-da-da. Right, we're going to apply that to the scale. 2, 3.
So you want me to just blast it out, or? Oh, okay.
Good. So your air sounds like this. Da, oh,
Yeah. No. Okay.
Is
I
that
didn't
the
realize
air?
what you. No.
Is that the air we blew through the mouthpiece before?
No.
No. Show me what we did. Play your horn.
No,
Make
no.
it continuous, Esther. Good. This is going to sound a little bit counterintuitive. Can you play your short notes longer so that it's da 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 instead of da 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 da?
Okay. That.
Oh, it's closer. It's closer. So I don't mean that they take more time. The rhythm stays the same, but your version has staccato. You're going instead of.
Okay. Well. So not.
That's better.
Not so. Yeah. Not
That's better.
so. Okay. Yeah.
Detached.
I was more distracted. Right.
Yeah, yours were detached, and that is not how I want us to use our air. Right, continuous air, just like we did through the mouthpiece before. Same thing, going up a B flat. Really good, Esther. C. D flat, that's getting really good, mate. D flat.
Come on.
F.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
It's alright.
Train wreck.
Nice. G. G.
Yeah, I know. That's a wonderful
You got it. Go on. Great. Great. So, Girl with the Flaxen Hair is in A flat major. Yeah, that's the key it's in. We've been practicing our A flat major scales, so our fingers are getting used to the pattern. We're getting used to how it sounds. We're using A flat major to practice the rhythmic pattern of Girl with the Flaxen Hair. Yeah, so even though we're not playing Girl with the Flaxen Hair, we're doing an awful lot of work towards it in this warm-up. Can you turn to page 30, please, of your Trinity exercise?
30.
Here.
I'm coming in a minute.
Here we've got 1, 2, 3, fourth scale down, A flat major, 2 octaves, which is what I was wanting. So this is in grade 6. Can you do the first octave for me? Just nice and slurred.
Nice and slow.
Holy moly, Esther. That was really rather good.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. what did I like about it? It was a consistent tone. And not only was it consistent, but it was of consistent quality. Your air moved the entire time. Even though there were a few disturbances, there were a couple of little blips along the way, it didn't bother you. You just carried on regardless, which is such a crucial skill, and then one that we've been working on for you for a long time. So tick, tick, tick. Massive collection of ticks for that execution. Yeah? Good.
Thank you.
Right, now that we've hit the goalposts and we've celebrated it, I'm going to move them on you. So, the valve coordination. So here's how we're going to improve it. Because the blips were, I suspect, coordination with the fingers. Do, 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 going from C to D flat, listening, going from C to D flat is quite an abrupt change in the length of tubing. You're going from very, very short to very, very long.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I suspect so. I suspect so. And then again, from D flat to E flat, again, there was a little blip. And I think it's just making sure that the air adjusts to the different lengths in fingering. So can we just go up to that D flat? So only 4 notes, as smooth as you can.
Okay. Well, okay, let me do that again, Alex. Wait a minute. Come on.
Yes. Well done. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Do you recognize that? It was perfect. Right, let's add another note. Yeah, from the D flat to the E flat, it wasn't quite as good. Did you notice?
Really?
Yeah, I heard da ha.
Oh, yeah. When am I get? Okay, what am I? Where am I? Okay.
Yeah, there's a slight bit of schmutz in the sound between the D. Can you just go from D flat? Can you just go from D flat to E flat? That's better. Can you slow it down? Do.
There's a very, very. Okay, shut it off.
Yeah, it's still there. You can hear it now, I think.
It's a little.
It's like a little putzer.
It's a little who?
Putzer, like a little fart in the sound between the notes. The D flat, this bit is pure. You're going la, lovely, and la sounds good, but the transition between them is not clean. D flat, thumb, 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 thumb. Can you be softer? Can you be softer? Thumb, Esther, thumb, thumb. Yes, that last one was beautiful. That last one you did was beautiful. It was exactly what I want. Really, really smooth vowel changes.
Is it the air or is it the fingering that's doing it, Alex? I don't think it's the air.
Who knows? Who knows? So we're talking really, really fine finesse.
Well, I can hear what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a click or.
Yeah. So up until this point, I've just been saying, let's establish continuous air. I don't want you to manipulate the air. That's what I've said, right? And you're starting to do that really well. Here's an example where a small amount of air manipulation might actually be to your benefit. So just before, because we're changing the length of tubing quite drastically between those two, D flat to E flat, I think what I would do is ease up just fractionally on the air. So it doesn't stop, it's just a little lessening. And then as soon as you catch, so the D flat is full. Listen. So here's what I'm going to describe it to you. So it's boo, boo, and there's just a
Oh,
small,
all
not a
right.
gap, not a gap, but you just take 5% out of the air. So the E flat is full, the D flat is full. The transition between them has maybe 5% less air. Sounds like this.
You're not. You're. Is that because of the length of the tubing? You think could that have a lot to do with that?
Possibly, possibly, yeah. I think so. I don't think I do that all the time. Let me check. In that example, I'm just blowing. I'm just blowing. But if it's like a very specific at that speed to make it nice and clean and smooth, I do have just a little bit coming off.
Mm,
Mm. You're playing this really well. Can we do up to the F?
thank you. Oh.
Beautiful. Very, very smooth. Up to the G.
No, don't get ahead of yourself. Okay.
Bravo. Bravo. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Good.
Mm.
What's that? What is that rhythm? What's that rhythm, Esther?
It's from the
Debussy?
hair thing.
The hairpiece.
The
Wig. Yeah, that's right. Um, right. Don't do that now. Write it down if you have to on some manuscript. But bum 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 bum. That's the rhythm. Bum ba da 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 dee, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Cool. How about the second octave? Just up to the E flat. Focus, my friend.
Yeah, Esther.
Name the note. What note are you starting on?
A flat.
A flat. Which one? The low one or the middle one?
The middle one.
The middle one. Terrific. So ba 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 ba. That's the same note you played up so beautifully just a moment ago.
On. Yeah, me. Oh, I've got to work on the higher ones.
Yes.
Okay, Alex.
Where's that attitude gone? You're being cautious again. I don't want cautious. I want confident, and then we can work on coordinating it later. Just go, bah! A real explosion of sound in the ballpark. Is that an explosion of sound, Esther? Blast it.
Heavens!
Blast it.
Huh? Well, darn it.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now I can hear that you're too low.
That's
Higher.
not the right note.
No, that's right. Find it. Higher. Too high. Lower. Would you please play for me the first octave scale again?
I will. Hang on. My allergies are giving me hell too.
There you go. That's your first note. Stop. La, ya. I just wanted up to the A flat so that you could find your start note. Bravo. Well done, you. That's an A flat. We found it. Now can you do the first 5 notes, including a D flat? Beautiful. I'm hearing that between the sounds, between the notes again. Do you notice? Not oh gosh,
No.
we're just bringing your awareness to it because remember we achieved it before. We achieved it. Yeah, you got to the goalpost and we celebrated. Woohoo, good for us. And now we've moved them. Right, this is how you progress.
All right.
So the assumption, I assume, Esther, listen, I assume that you're very capable of playing these notes. Right, that is the assumption. Now you've demonstrated competency within that. Now the goal is, can you play them smoothly? Yep. So assume that you can do it. That's totally fine. Now focus on doing it smoothly. So, ooh, A flat. Yes, 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 yes. That was beautiful. That was really, really lovely and smooth. Exactly
Thank
what we
you.
want. Yeah, you're driving the instrument beautifully. Let's do a few 2x2s in this register. So two poos, two twos. This is one of the Andrew Bain routine exercises. Yeah, we're going to start on an A flat. So two poo attacks and then two twos.
So
So
we just
listen.
blow. We blow air first, and then we
Yeah,
tongue
so
it.
you remember
Correct?
the poo attacks? You remember?
Yeah. Poo.
Great. Yeah, so we're doing
Poo.
that. So listen. Now with the tongue. 2 twos. So
I
two
did too.
poos, two twos. No, you did two poos, one two.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Try again. It's going well.
No. All right.
And I would encourage you, stop. I would encourage you, when you do your poo attack, to make sure you've closed your lips together before you release the air.
Yes, sir.
Because that's at the moment yours are going, or because your lips aren't together. As my teacher used to say, shut your mouth.
That's true, Helen.
Yeah, he
Thank
was a
you,
dick.
teacher.
You're welcome.
Huh?
He was a
Who was
dick.
that?
Well, one
Who
of
was
my old
that?
teachers, don't worry.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
and really blow air. Poo! With the right fingers. Otherwise, that was great. I want to. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if you miss the note. That's not what we're working on here. What we're working on is starting that air immediately and coordinated. Because your air, I think, what I'm hearing, has a tendency to leak out of you before you've set your
Well,
chops.
no. That's not true.
Well, it's what I'm hearing.
Huh?
Beautiful. That was right fingers, though, Esther.
Well, why can't you do it without it?
Well, because we're trying to play an A flat, and you can't play an
Can't
A
you play
flat
the
on a G
on the
fingering.
on the natural horn?
You can play it on the natural horn, but you didn't have anything down. You were completely open.
Isn't that the way it's supposed to be on your natural horn?
For it, no.
Okay.
A natural
Thank you,
horn,
Alex, for.
no. Natural horn is just the same length of tubing. Doesn't matter what length the tubing is. It could be open, it could be second, it could be second and third, could have the thumb down, but it just remains the same. That's what natural
Oh,
horn
okay.
is, right? Because it's one length of tubing. Good. See that one? You had a big warm up. You were like, whoa, into it. There you go. That's it. So those are the repetitions. Excellent. Those are the repetitions I want you to be doing. Don't allow yourself to be old moo cow into it. That's not what we're after. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Not allowed. Not in my teaching studio. No, thank you. All right. So that was good. What you were doing just then. Let's go a little bit higher. Let's do a C. Ooh. 2 poos, 2 twos. You've got this. Good. Esther, 4 from 4. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah. You have the ability to be very accurate when you focus on it and work on it.
Well, yeah, thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. That's it. Great. Yeah, let's keep going. It's doing E flat. So it's doing an A flat major arpeggio. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Cool. So you've asked me a couple of times over the course of our lesson, how do I become accurate? That is a goal of yours. That is something like that you would like to achieve. This is how you do it, Esther, with this exercise. Yeah? You've also expressed, I struggle to play a note if I haven't heard it first. Okay? Yeah, great. Totally. If your lips know how it feels, it doesn't matter if you can't hear the note. They will produce it for you. Cool. Let's keep going up. I'm going to challenge you. Here's an A flat. With the thumb? With the thumb as well? Thumb 2, 3. Squeeze your belly.
Well, it's not that. No.
Yeah, this is challenging. This is challenging.
Well, yeah, well, if it were, never mind.
Yeah, so make sure your lips are nice and close together and that you're really, really moving air. Really blow with your belly. Good. That's now. Good. Great. Great. A few of those were excellent.
Well, thank you. Well,
yeah, would you like to continue that thought? You just sort of trailed off into a grumble.
no, that's okay, Alex.
Okay, great. Esther, well done you.
Thank you.
Well done you. When you watch this back, just observe the quality of your breathing. In relation to those high notes, it was pretty small. There were little sips of air.
Yeah, it wasn't that strong though, was it, Alex? It could be better. That's what I was going to complain about. And you probably say, no, that's negative. But it's an observation. I'm not putting myself down.
It could be better. Always it could be better. That's why I'm providing you with the solution, which is take a bigger breath. Yeah. So you were a little, I got the sense you were a little bit worried about it, about the outcome of those high notes. And because you were a little bit worried, your breathing suffered. Yeah. So we talk about having a confident attitude. One of the things we need to always ensure we are confident about is our breathing. And so even though the note we're playing is only this big, it requires a lot of energy. We can only get energy in our air if we have
a big enough breath and we support ourselves. Yes.
Great.
Yeah,
I see we've had this conversation before, Esther. So can you show me that?
Pardon?
Confident breath, even if the note's rubbish. Breathe well. Esther, that first the two poo attacks, stunning. Absolutely stunning. Right? Really, really good. So,
and what happened to the other attacks?
Tell me, what happened to them?
They weren't as...
Why not?
Wait a minute.
Why not? Why weren't they as good? Why weren't they as good? Why not? I agree, but why not?
Well, I would say the most of the air thing, that's why I wanted to try it again. I mean, I've tried to, I've been working on the A flat as well as getting up to the A and then a B
Great,
flat.
great.
But I'm working on it, but I'm not saying they're the most, they said a screech up there. It's like a screech owl.
Sure. I would
Oh,
suggest to you that those first two notes you played did not screech. They were beautiful. They were accurate, they
well,
were
thank you.
quality, and I would happily hear more of those. That's not the question, though. The question is, why did the second two, why were they not as good?
Because of the air control, for one.
What about, so why? So carry on. What about the air control? What does that mean? What did you do? What didn't you do?
Well,
What was the
I didn't,
solution that made the first two so good? It was take a big breath.
well, I took a big breath the other way too, but it wasn't good. I'm going to try that again. Come on, hang
Yeah,
on.
so I would suggest to you, listen, I would suggest to you that the first breath you took for the first two A flats was really, really good. It was a quality breath. I really
Yeah.
liked what I saw. The second breath wasn't as big.
No, it
Wasn't
wasn't.
as big. And I'm not, and I don't mean this in like a negative word. It's just an
No, I
observation.
know
I
you're
think,
not.
I don't know, but here it comes. I think your air was a little bit complacent. The first two was
It
so
was.
beautiful, and you were like, woohoo! And then you failed to do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. So,
I mean, you hit right on.
yeah. So sometimes when we make mistakes, right, that can be a real big distraction. We focus on the mistakes, and it causes us to lead to more mistakes. Um, Sometimes, and I've experienced this before, sometimes it's going really well and you're doing lots of beautiful things. I had this happen to me in audition. I was kicking butt. I was ready to win this job. I was third round, last man standing. And I was thinking, I was already celebrating before I'd finished. That was the issue. And so I stopped thinking about all the things that were allowing me to sound so good. I became complacent within the performance. And
Oh,
as a result,
Alex.
I totally, I don't know, it just happened. And I learned from it. That's the most important thing. I became complacent and totally fell off the rails. Like shit hit the fan at the end of the audition, and I wasn't able to recover. Yeah. So just
Really?
making sure that, yeah, absolutely. It's, no, happy to share that experience. It's just
It's okay.
part of learning how to audition. So what I'm saying to you is that those first two were great, and then in your brain, even if it was at a subconscious level, you went yes, woohoo, and then you took your foot off the gas.
Yeah, it must have been it must have been a subconscious feeling or something that I
Mm.
had.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional,
No,
but
well,
I
I know.
like that.
I'm not saying it
Yeah,
was. I didn't
yeah.
completely become a bundle of nerves in my audition intentionally, but it still happened. So, nice big breath every time. It's hard because I got the horn in front of me. You can't quite see me. I'll turn side on.
No, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Right, because we're starting notes. That's what we're practicing. So if I reset every time, then that's 4 repetitions at starting a note. If you don't reset, that's just 1 repetition of the same note, which is a different thing.
So,
Play. Play,
you
Esther,
want
your
me to
turn.
do it?
Yeah, I want you to
Huh?
do that. I want you to do what I just did. Play. A flat. Thumb, 2, 3. Poo, 2.
Okay,
It's
wait a
high,
minute.
isn't it? It's high. It's much higher than what you first came in on. So making sure.
That's okay. It doesn't. Come on, it doesn't bother me. Come on.
Good.
I mean, if the height doesn't frighten me.
No, no, no. What I mean, I'm not. It's not what I'm saying. The first note you played, the first pitch that came out of your horn when you warmed up into it was almost a whole octave too low.
I noticed.
Right. So your lips were way too far apart.
Right.
What I mean when I'm saying it's high is that your lips have to be prepared to play high, and your lips were not prepared. So
Well,
notice when you get the high note, notice the level of tension that is required to achieve it, and then start with that level of tension before you release the air. So really, really squeeze your lips, squeeze your belly, big breath. Good. So that was a good A flat. It's still warmed up into a little bit. When you achieve the pitch, observe, what are my lips doing? And then copy that.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Cool. And really blow, Esther. Nice big lung full, squeeze your belly. Beautiful. It's easy to play high when you do the right stuff. It really, really sucks playing high when you do the wrong stuff. It is like
Well, it does. It really
absolute
does.
miserable experience. So the
Yeah.
goal is not to play high. The goal is to do the right stuff in the high register.
Good point, Alex.
Process. I am full of good points. I'm aware. That's why I charge what I charge. Okay, I would like now to hear Girl with the Flaxen Hair, please.
What part of that is that? Do you want to hear?
I'd like you to go from the start, and I'd like you to play it for me.
You like to go which?
From the beginning, Da Capo.
You say that. Alex.
That's what you've been practicing for, my friend. So,
Well, I didn't practice. I didn't practice in the beginning, but
it's absolutely fine. So this lesson, what have we worked on? We've worked on A flat major. We've worked on smooth valve transitions. We've worked on the rhythm. We've worked on range. Those are all the skills that go into this piece. Right? So make sure you've emptied.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like going on a car trip. You got to make sure you go to the bathroom before you leave.
Yeah, unfortunately, this instrument likes to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Come on. Hey, dummy. Oh, dear. Well, I will attempt to give it to you, Alex. I haven't been practicing the...
That's okay.
I haven't been practicing...
That's fine.
I haven't been practicing the whole thing, all right?
Esther, stop proffering excuses before you've even started.
I'm just telling you that.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't want you to tell me. I just want you to go,
Okay,
yep,
shut up.
now
Okay,
in the zone. Yeah.
I know what you're telling me. Shut up and play.
Here's an E flat.
No, I know what an E flat is. No, hold on.
Smooth fingers, smooth air, just like we practiced before. You did it so competently.
Yeah, all right.
Whoa. Relax, stop. Fingers, my friend. Think fingers.
Okay, well, that's why. That's part of the problem.
Your fingers were all backwards. One.
Thank you very much, Alex. I'm going to start over again.
Esther, remember that thing of take the note? Do you remember? It was this lesson that we talked about it. Do you remember it? I hope so. I bet if your memory's going, we might have bigger things to worry about. Okay, good. I'm glad you remember.
Okay.
So focus on your fingers.
Thank you.
Welcome. Focus on your fingers. Beginning. Start at the very beginning. A very good place to start. Listen. Hear this. F, A flat, B flat.
working that well.
Is that what you're thinking about while you're playing?
Part of the problem, I am thoroughly embarrassed, though. You've achieved that far. Not much.
I beg your
Congratulations.
pardon. I beg your
Yeah, I
pardon.
am.
Who achieved you being embarrassed? Who achieved that?
I'm embarrassed.
Why? Yeah, but who achieved it? I am not shouldering that blame.
No, I'm showing my
No.
own blame.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, things to like. The first two bars was stunning, Esther. It was all the stuff that we've been talking about. When you listen back to what you just played, I want you to be really, really pleased as punch with that. I want you to actively celebrate what you achieved. Yeah? Then something happened. Maybe it was a change. No, don't roll your eyes and shake your head. I really, really want you to actively celebrate what you achieved on purpose. I want you to practice.
I
Shush,
really can't.
shush, shush. I want you to practice recognizing the positive in what you're playing. Because, no, stop shaking your head. Can you do that for me? Can you go away and practice it after this lesson? Say yes, Esther.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear it. The opening two bars that you played was lovely. It was genuinely delightful, and I'm not saying it just to puff air up your butt. But then something happened. We got derailed. Yeah? So you need to figure out what you were focusing on at the beginning that allowed it to be so beautiful, and then what shifted in your focus. Why did it change? Because it did change. I will agree with that. Yeah? Good.
Well, I know what changed. I know what changed.
Yeah.
I know what happened back then, and I know what I did last a couple of weeks ago, and then it was. Never mind, Alex. I'm just embarrassed over this. That's all.
Okay.
Not that you've done anything, but I'm angry at myself.
Okay, that's fine. You're allowed to be dissatisfied with what you play.
Yes, I am.
I would, yeah, of course you are. I'm not dismissing that. I hope I don't give that impression. What I would encourage you, and what I would strongly suggest, is that you avoid judging it while you're doing it, because that's not helpful. That's counterproductive and will likely lead to more mistakes. Which, if you're judging and then you make mistakes, that'll cause more judgment, which will cause more mistakes, which will cause more judgment, which is just a downward spiral. That's what I was talking about before, right? So your ability to stay focused on the productive things that we can think about, that's the key element here that I think you're missing. Yeah. This lesson, we've done a really good job of demonstrating to ourselves our ability to play smoothly, to play this rhythm, to play in A flat major. You did all of those things wonderfully, right? In the context of this piece, the first two bars that you played for me in the last version that you did were absolutely stunning because you were thinking about your fingers, right? And just making sure that you had the valves in the right spot. Yeah? And when you did that, it works. So you are very capable of doing a good job of this. You just have to ensure that your focus is on the process. Yeah, because when you do that, it just works. And when you don't, it doesn't. That's true for me as well. Okay? So my friend, what are a few really simple processes you can focus on while you're playing this piece? Rattle a few off for me, please.
I can think of one only.
What's that?
Let it rip.
Let it rip. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a really, really good one. Yeah, I love that.
That encompasses everything.
That encompasses everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it really does, Alex. I mean, you told me one time that I shouldn't worry trying to impress you, or my students shouldn't impress me. And I'm going, then why the heck are we having them taking lessons from you if we can't impress you? Who are we supposed to impress? If not you.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Well, no, that's just a question. I mean, I'm supposed to impress myself. Yes, maybe. I'm taking lessons from you to make sure that I'm getting it right. One.
Mm, hmm hmm
And then it's not anything against you, Alex. Hey, if I didn't enjoy working with you, we would have been doing this long.
Fair enough. Um, I think
I mean, I hope you're not angry at me. I'm not trying to show any anger towards
no,
you.
definitely not. No, no, no. I think it's just um,
I mean, but
I
this is
think
serious questions. I
no, no,
mean,
no. I get it, and I'm trying to figure out how to address it. My response would be is that, and it's similar to that discussion we've had already about how all of my students frequently are not very good judges of the quality of what they're doing, right? And so what I am listening for and what I care about is often different to what they are focusing on. And then this is true for you as well. So when I say don't try to impress me with the outcome, with the result, that's what I am impressed with and how you will impress me. And if you watch back this lesson, I have expressed, I suspect, quite a large amount of
yes, you have.
being impressed.
Yeah,
Really,
but I
really draw your attention. Hold on, I'll really, really draw your attention that at each of those moments, the thing that I've been impressed about is your process. Yeah? Because that is what has caused it to play well. So every time I've gone, yes, what a beautiful high A flat, the thing that I'm celebrating is how you've gone and put a tremendous amount of air through it. Yeah, and same with the smooth valves. When I got you thinking about your fingers and focusing on the process of the valve coordination, it worked, and we celebrated that. Huh? So I'm more than happy to be impressed. It's just making sure that how you are trying to impress me is in the area that I am going to be impressed in, if that makes sense. Otherwise, you're pushing shit uphill, essentially, right? You're
thanks a
like
lot.
working really hard to be impressed on XYZ, and that is not what I care about. So it's just making sure that where you're putting your efforts are in the things that will impress me, which is quality input, quality process, quality ingredients. Yeah, because when
So
you do it, it just works.
you're not worried about how the darn thing sounds. You're worried about how certain elements in the piece are coming out.
I am deeply concerned with how it sounds. Of course I am. But how are we going to achieve it? How are we going to make it sound good? And it's with the quality of our processes. If you've got rubbish ingredients, it doesn't matter how hard you try, it's still going to be a rubbish product.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I
You,
appreciate that.
it's just the nature of it, right? If you could be the best pilot in the world, but if you haven't got any wings, you're not going anywhere,
Well,
right? Yeah.
you wouldn't fly without them in the first place.
That's exactly right, Esther. Exactly
But
right.
I
That's
mean,
what
what
I'm
does that have
saying.
to?
What does it has? It has everything to do with what we're talking about. You're focused so hard on flying that you're forgetting to do all of your pre-flight checks. You haven't got any fuel in the tank. You haven't got any wings. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be the perfect metaphor for it still to apply. So in your practice, don't try and get it right. Try and make it easy. Try and make it beautiful. And the things that'll do it are good air and coordination of the lips and the valves and all the various elements. Yeah. So process wise, at the beginning, a good one for you to think about is just fingers. Because when you did that, it worked. So can you write fingers at the top of this to remind yourself to think about it? Yeah. Like right now. Can you do that right now? Can you get a pen or a pencil? Just so I know that you've done it. And you might like my friend, to jump online and get yourself one of these.
No, I'm not
Do you
interested.
see? Look.
Yeah,
And
I
look.
know. I'm not interested, Alex.
And what?
No,
And a pencil clip? What do you mean
nope,
no? Look. Look,
nope.
Esther. The magic of having
Yeah,
a clip
I
on your
know.
French horn.
It's just wonderful.
And it was like 20 cents.
Well, unfortunately, over here it's not 20 cents. It's about $25.
For a pencil clip.
Yes.
Well, I'd be very, very surprised.
Okay. Well, then don't believe me on that, Alex.
That would be a very surprising thing.
Well, it is that. That's the way it is.
Very unfortunate.
No, that's why I don't have one.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
no, I see you're right. What I had been practicing on, I was never mind.
Yeah.
And I had turned around and I had done it pretty well, but now I can do the rest of it.
Mm,
So,
mm. No, Esther, I don't want you to be disheartened from this lesson.
oh, I'm
Uh,
not disheartened. I'm disgusted. I mean, interested. Yes.
it seems like that, but to me, that feels like a pretty similar sentiment.
Oh, I'm
You made
disgusted at myself.
you
Yeah.
okay? Well, fine. What's your solution? If you don't want to repeat this, what are you going to do? How are you going to do differently?
Oh, I'll repeat it. I'll just sit down and just let it rip.
Mm, yeah, good. So the right attitudes, making sure you're full
Sure.
of air.
That's all you have to do. That's what that I have. I don't really have a choice, Alex.
Yep.
I
I
I
would.
have to do it
I would
that way.
also be.
I
So we
mean,
practiced our
don't
A
get me
flat.
wrong.
We
Yeah, I'm not
practiced our
gonna
A flat
go.
major scale. Listen, we practiced our A
Yeah,
flat major scale. Go practice your A flat major arpeggio as well on the same page, same 30, page
right on
30
that
from the
page.
Trinity
Yeah,
book. Because all of this opening music is just an A flat major arpeggio with an F included. A flat C, E flat F, E flat C, A, da
yeah.
da
It's a
da
beautiful
da da da.
arpeggio.
It is, but that's all it is. It's just an
this whole
arpeggio.
this whole piece is beautiful.
It is.
The whole thing is gorgeous, Alex,
Hmm.
and I just apologize that I didn't do what I should have.
Hmm. Cool. So when you listen back, the last thing you
I
played for
mean,
me, the first two bars were stunning. They were really, really glorious. Yeah. So when you're on,
oh, yeah.
when things are going well, your standard is like way up here, Esther, and that's super duper encouraging, like genuinely, right? I think what is so disturbing, and I've experienced this as well, is that yes, as stuff gets better, it's really, really excellent, but for a while, the bad stuff is going to be like I can't even show you. My camera is not big enough. Yeah, and this gulf between what is going well and what isn't going well can be very disturbing because it's so big. So the good stuff is going well. It's just making sure that your worst playing is always good enough. That's the goal. It's not having the best of any one thing. It's just everything is at least of the standard.
Right. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I just hope you accept my apology, Alex.
I do, Esther.
I mean, if I didn't give a damn, I would continue to murder the piece, but I didn't want to do that.
The pussy's already dead. He doesn't mind.
Huh?
The pussy is already dead. He doesn't mind.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. But I love. On a positive note, on go look at number 19 through 33,
Yeah.
and all the way down there. I've been working on that area, and I love that high F. Or did you have that on 21? I love that.
It's nice, isn't it? Mm. It's a beautiful
He has
piece.
some fantastic stuff in here.
Mm.
He really does. And I'm working on my air. I've been trying to get some areas, but longer. And I found out, okay, you take a deeper breath and you get better passages.
Yep.
So I've
Yep.
been pleased with that part
Good.
of it. I've been working on it, da 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 type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I've written out the what you suggested to do. I've
I
even
have a
taken my
question.
little. Go ahead.
Do you write in breath marks?
And breath marks.
Yeah, where you're going to breathe?
Oh, well, part of that's already done here for me. Somebody has already put a few marks in here as to where I should breathe.
That's good. Carry on with that line of inquiry. Yeah? Making sure that you've got a plan for where you're going to breathe and that you do breathe in those spots.
But why is that so important?
Why do you think it would be important?
Well, I mean, I know you do it a lot, and whoever had this page before did that,
hmm
and you know, that's fine. Um,
Why should you write in your breath marks? Why do you think?
well, so you know when to take a breath.
Yes, great. It's very, very simple. Any other benefits?
Not that I'm aware of.
You can only think about one thing at a time. While you're playing this piece, I want you to be thinking about your fingers, because that is your biggest limiting factor right now, is the coordination of your valves. If you're thinking about your fingers, you, by definition, cannot be thinking about where you're going to breathe. If you haven't got a lung full of air, it doesn't matter what your fingers are doing, you're going to suck. Right? So by writing in where you're going to breathe, you take that responsibility away from you in the moment. So you can
Okay.
still continue to think about your valves. Yeah? If you continue to make the same valve mistake over and over and over again, write the fingering in for that particular spot.
Well, no. I just, no. No, with me, if I make a mistake like that, I realize that I'm just not paying attention, so I just not play and just work on the valves myself until I get it.
Yep, totally. But music is complicated. It's hard to do this sort of thing. It's a real challenge. There's so much that we have to pay attention to. I write in fingering all the time, right? It's just taking the load off. Yeah, I have a couple of students who are very resistant to the idea of writing the fingering in, and it's like they're like, no, I can't. It's too simple. I'm too proud. Essentially, is what they don't say
Oh, I'm
that.
not.
They don't say that they're too proud, but I can read between the lines, and that's what it seems to come down to, right? But then, because they don't write in the fingering, they're like, oh, it's too simple. That's what a baby would do. I'm too clever for that. And then they proceed to keep making the mistake. I was like, well,
Yeah.
wouldn't you, if you're going to be proud, wouldn't you be proud of doing it well, despite of what's on the page?
Yeah.
So write in your breath marks. Write in your fingering if you need to. Write your process cues, right? So that's why I got you to write fingering at the top, so that when you're playing, you remember to focus on your fingering. Yeah?
Well, that is important because
That is.
that is a great weakness of mine.
Yeah, but it's going to change. It's going to change depending on the particular challenge of the piece. It might be that you need to write down rhythm to remind yourself to focus on the rhythm. It might be articulation. It might be any myriad number of things. Right? What we focus on in any given moment can and should change depending on what is the biggest challenge. Yeah? Cool. All right. Hey, well done. Really good lesson. You did a lot of very impressive things today, and you should be chuffed with yourself for it.
Well, I appreciate that, Alex. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I wanted to tell you that I hope to work with you as long as I can. I hope that's okay with you.
Of course.
It may take 3 years. It might take 8 years. I don't know. It's as much as I can, so I can. There's one thing I want to ask you. There's one piece of music. I know you've got to go, but there's one piece of music that I've always loved that has a triplet in it. It's a very sad piece. It's in the lower part of the instrument, not too low, but the middle range, and it's just very profound.
What is it?
It's just really, Well, it's Bill and I have been watching a lot of Gunsmoke. We have a lot of Western stuff over here in this country, so we've been watching a lot of the Gunsmoke series. And
Mm.
some composers have used the piece, which are very, it's just very beautiful at the moment, very thought provoking, and sets the scene. And it's just, I mean, it's a horn solo that comes
Mm.
out.
Yeah, but what is it though? What's the piece?
I don't really know what the name is. I've been trying to find what the name is, and I haven't found anything on it.
Mm. Mm.
But it has a triplet in it.
Is it is it from a particular show?
It's from the Gunsmoke series on
Yeah.
westerns.
You could look up
It's from,
Gunsmoke series horn solo on YouTube, and that might give it
yeah,
to you.
that could be. That could be something of that nature. A lot of times it's a desert scene,
Yeah.
and it's just absolutely stunning. It's just, I don't know. I'm just attracted to that. I don't know why. I mean, it's a very, um, it just gives it that characteristic horn warmth that I've mentioned before that I so love about the instrument.
Mm.
It has a velvet sound that's very, that you won't find any other instrument having that sound.
Mm. I'm just going to listen to it real quick. Hold on. Gunsmoke.
Pardon?
Can you hear what I'm hearing? Is it coming through on your end?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would look it up on YouTube. Gunsmoke music would be what I'd be searching.
Yeah, I don't know if you like westerns or stuff, but we enjoy the.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll show you. Hold on. Spaghetti Western trumpet. I work on this with my trumpet students. Great music. I might have sent you this before actually, but copy. And then where are you? Esther.
well, anyway, um, so after this, we'll get on to something else that's more fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. We can move on at any point.
Well, I want to play this for you, Alex, next time,
Yeah,
and I'll play it through you.
yeah, good. So
Do
the
you want
goal
me
for
to?
next week. The goal for next week is just to play through the whole thing. Yeah. So in your practice over the course of this week, really think hard about what your process focus is going to be. And then when you execute, judge your success. And this is really important. Judge your success on your ability to think and focus on that process. That's it. Right? Because that's what we're trying to develop is our ability to stay focused on something productive. Yeah. And you could do that in any context. If you're practicing your A flat major scale and the process you need to think about is fingering, then think about your fingers while you do it. Yeah. Cool. Great. I look
Listen,
forward to
Alex,
it.
thanks again,
You're most welcome, my friend. I will send you this recording straight away.
and good luck on your performance too coming up.
Cheers. It's going to be fun. We're doing some Shostakovich. Love Shostakovich. Don't get to play it very often these days. His first symphony, Shostakovich #1. It's a cool piece.
So what horn part are you playing?
One.
Oh, does it have a lot of notes? I mean, high notes?
It's got a few. We're also doing the Bizet Symphony #1, which has
Bizet?
even more notes. Yeah.
Okay.
I like Bizet. Bizet's a great composer. Anyway, must go. We'll talk to you soon.
Godspeed. Take care.
Ciao.
Give our best to Arna.
I will. And to Bill. Bye.